Awareness of the present moment happiness in its purest form is not something we need to chase. It is something we awaken to through awareness. The essence of mindful attention lies in the ability to be fully present in the moment not trapped in the memories of the past or the anxieties of the future. When the Buddha said that mindful attention is the source of happiness, he pointed toward the power of living here and now because only in the present moment do we truly live. Many people spend most of their lives mentally elsewhere. Their bodies are in one place, but their minds are lost in thought, worrying, planning, regretting, or imagining. This constant mental movement steals the joy that already exists in the simple experience of being alive. Mindful attention, however, brings us back home to ourselves. It is the gentle art of noticing what is happening right now, the rhythm of your breath, the feeling of your feet touching the ground, or the sounds of nature around you. When we do this, we begin to touch life deeply. The present moment holds everything we need to experience peace. Yet, because our minds are restless, we often overlook it. By practicing awareness, we begin to slow down and observe reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. This act of conscious observation brings clarity. We begin to see the beauty in small things, the warmth of sunlight, the taste of food, or the sound of laughter. In this stillness, happiness arises naturally, not because we have achieved something external, but because we have finally stopped running away from ourselves. Being aware of the present moment also helps us deal with challenges more wisely. Instead of reacting impulsively to situations, mindfulness gives us the space to respond with calmness. For example, when anger arises, a mindful person notices it. Anger is here, instead of letting it control them. This simple act of recognition weakens the emotion's power. Similarly, when sadness or fear appears, awareness allows us to hold those feelings with kindness rather than resistance. We start to realize that every emotion, like a cloud, passes through the sky of our consciousness and eventually dissolves. This understanding brings a deep sense of peace. Mindful attention transforms even ordinary activities into sources of joy. Drinking tea becomes an act of meditation, feeling its warmth, tasting its flavor, being aware of each sip. Walking becomes a dance of mindfulness, sensing each step, breathing deeply, and feeling alive. In such moments, we no longer need external pleasures to make us happy. The present moment itself becomes enough. Scientific research today supports what the Buddha taught over 500 years ago, that mindfulness reduces stress, improves focus, and enhances emotional well-being. But beyond science, mindfulness is a path to awakening, a way to reconnect with our true nature. It reminds us that peace and happiness are not distant goals to reach someday. They are available here and now, in this very breath. To cultivate awareness of the present moment, one must practice regularly. Meditation, mindful breathing, or simply pausing to notice one's surroundings are simple but powerful techniques. Each moment of awareness strengthens the habit of presence. Over time, this presence becomes natural, a way of living rather than a temporary practice. When we are present, life becomes vibrant and meaningful. We no longer live mechanically but consciously. The mind becomes quiet, and in that quietness, happiness shines like the sun emerging from behind the clouds. Awareness is not something we do, it is what we are. The more we live in this awareness, the more we experience the boundless peace that has always been within us. Thus, awareness of the present moment is the heart of mindful attention, and through it, we discover that true happiness is not found in doing more, but in being more fully alive to this moment. Blossom freedom from negative emotions in the journey toward happiness. One of the greatest barriers we face is the storm of negative emotions. Anger, fear, jealousy, guilt, anxiety, and resentment. These emotions cloud the mind, drain energy, and distance us from inner peace. The Buddha taught that suffering arises not from external circumstances, but from how our mind reacts to them. Through mindful attention, we can break this cycle and discover true freedom from the grip of negativity. Mindfulness does not mean denying or suppressing emotions. Instead, it teaches us to observe emotions with awareness, to see them as passing visitors rather than permanent residents of the heart. When we experience anger, for instance, most of us immediately identify with it. We say, "I am angry," and become consumed by it. Mindfulness, however, shifts the perspective to anger is arising in me. This subtle change in awareness transforms everything. We are no longer the anger itself, we become the observer of it, and in that moment of observation, the emotion begins to lose its power. Negative emotions thrive in unconsciousness. They grow stronger when we resist them, react to them, or feed them with thoughts. But under the light of mindful attention, they start to dissolve. Imagine a dark room filled with shadows. When you turn on the light, the darkness disappears effortlessly. In the same way, awareness acts as the light that reveals the true nature of emotions, temporary, changing, and without a fixed self. When we are mindful, we begin to understand the root causes of our emotions. We notice that anger often arises from unmet expectations, fear from attachment, and jealousy from comparison. Instead of reacting blindly, we respond with wisdom and compassion. For example, when anger appears, mindfulness helps us breathe, pause, and look deeper. We might realize that our anger is protecting a deeper hurt or disappointment. By understanding it instead of fighting it, we create space for healing. Mindful attention also helps us cultivate emotional resilience. Life will always bring difficulties, but with mindfulness, we are not easily shaken by them. We learn to remain calm even in chaos, because we understand that emotions are like waves. They rise and fall. Happiness is not the absence of waves, but the ability to surf them with grace. Over time, mindfulness transforms how we experience ourselves and others. When we pay attention to our emotions without judgment, we develop self-compassion. We stop blaming ourselves for feeling sad, anxious, or angry. Instead, we accept these feelings as natural human experiences. This gentle acceptance softens the heart, and from that softness, forgiveness and peace emerge. Freedom from negative emotions does not mean we never feel them again. Rather, it means they no longer control us. A mindful person still experiences anger or sadness, but these emotions pass through like clouds in a clear sky. The sky, our true awareness, remains untouched. This realization brings profound peace because we see that our happiness is not dependent on the constant change of emotions. In relationships, mindful awareness helps us respond instead of react. When someone speaks harshly, instead of retaliating with equal harshness, we can pause, take a breath, and understand their pain. This moment of awareness breaks the chain of negativity and replaces it with compassion. As the Buddha said, hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal law. Practicing mindfulness daily through meditation, mindful breathing, or simply pausing before reacting gradually frees us from emotional suffering. It teaches us that emotions are messages, not masters. They show us what needs attention, not punishment. And when we honor them with awareness, they transform into wisdom. Ultimately, freedom from negative emotions, is not about controlling the mind, but understanding it. When we see emotions clearly, they lose their power to disturb us. What remains is a deep inner calm, the quiet happiness that arises when the mind is no longer enslaved by its own creations. Through mindful attention, we learn to live with openness, balance, and love, and that is the true meaning of freedom. Deep connection with life, one of the most beautiful gifts of mindfulness, is the ability to feel a deep connection with life. In our busy modern world, people often live disconnected from themselves, from nature, and from others. We move quickly, rushing from one task to another, often unaware of the present moment. This disconnection creates emptiness inside us, a feeling that something essential is missing. Mindful attention heals this inner gap by bringing us back into harmony with life as it truly is. When we practice mindfulness, we begin to notice the richness of each moment. Every breath, sound, color, and sensation becomes alive. We realize that life is not something happening somewhere else. It is happening right here, right now. A mindful person feels this truth deeply. The gentle breeze, the warmth of the sun, the smile of a friend, all become sacred experiences. Awareness transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary ones. This deep connection begins with being present within ourselves. When we are mindful, we tune into our body and emotions instead of ignoring or resisting them. We feel our heartbeat, our breathing, our sensations. This presence helps us understand that the body is not separate from the mind. Both are parts of one living experience. By listening to the body with kindness, we begin to honor life itself. From this inner awareness, our connection naturally extends outward into other people, animals, and the whole planet. We begin to see that everything is interdependent. The air we breathe, the food we eat, the water we drink, all come from the earth and countless living beings. This realization awakens gratitude. We no longer take life for granted. We start to feel appreciation for even the simplest things. Gratitude itself becomes a source of happiness. Mindful attention also deepens our relationships. When we listen to someone with full awareness, without judgment, without thinking of what to say next, we truly hear them. Our presence becomes a gift. Such listening heals misunderstandings and strengthens bonds. The Buddha taught that understanding is the foundation of love, and mindfulness is what allows understanding to arise. When we are present with others, we see their joys and sorrows as our own. Compassion flows naturally from this awareness. Through mindful living, we also reconnect with nature. When we walk mindfully, each step becomes a conversation with the earth. We begin to sense that we are not separate from the trees, the rivers, or the sky. We are part of the same living web. This sense of unity brings a deep peace, because we no longer feel isolated or alone. The ego, which thrives on separation, begins to fade. What remains is oneness, the direct experience that all life is interconnected. In this connection, we discover true happiness. It is not the fleeting joy of achieving or possessing something, but a quiet contentment that arises from feeling at home in the world. We realize that happiness is not about controlling life, but about being fully alive within it. Every breath becomes a reminder of our shared existence with all beings. Mindfulness teaches us to meet life as it is, with openness and acceptance. We no longer divide experiences into good or bad. Instead, we learn to see the beauty even in challenges. A mindful person understands that every moment, whether joyful or painful, is part of the dance of life. This acceptance brings a profound inner freedom. When we live with mindful attention, we don't just exist, we truly belong to life. Our actions become more thoughtful, our words more kind, our hearts more open. The separation between me and the world dissolves, revealing a deep unity. This is what the Buddha meant by enlightenment, awakening to the truth that life itself is sacred. Thus, a deep connection with life is the natural result of mindfulness. When we are fully present, we touch the miracle of existence in every moment. The bird's song, the breath in our lungs, the heartbeat within us all remind us that we are part of a greater whole. And in that realization, happiness blooms effortlessly, like a lotus opening to the sun. Cherry blossom, understanding the nature of mind **** at the heart of mindfulness, lies a powerful discovery, the understanding of the *** nature of the mind ***. The Buddha taught that the mind is both the source of suffering and the key to liberation. When we understand how the mind works, we begin to free ourselves from the illusions that cause unhappiness. Mindful attention is the light that reveals the true nature of our thoughts, emotions, and perceptions, allowing us to live with clarity and peace. The mind is like a restless monkey, constantly jumping from one branch of thought to another. One moment it clings to the past, the next it worries about the future. It creates endless stories, judgments, and desires. This constant movement is what keeps us trapped in suffering. Mindfulness invites us to ***, observe the mind instead of identifying with it ***. By watching our thoughts without attachment or resistance, we realize that we are not our thoughts. We are the awareness behind them. Imagine sitting beside a river and watching leaves float by. Each leaf represents a thought, memories, worries, dreams, or emotions. If we try to grab them, we get pulled into the current. But if we simply observe, the river continues to flow, and we remain peaceful on the bank. Mindful attention allows us to watch the flow of the mind in this way, with calm awareness and non-reactivity. When we observe the mind carefully, we begin to see that it has certain patterns. It is constantly chasing pleasure and avoiding pain. It labels experiences as good or bad, pleasant or unpleasant, and reacts accordingly. This habit of attachment and aversion creates suffering. For example, when we experience something pleasant, we cling to it. When it disappears, we feel loss. When something unpleasant arises, we resist it, and that resistance brings pain. The Buddha called this cycle dukkha, the unsatisfactory nature of worldly experience. Through mindful attention, we start to ***, see these patterns clearly ***. Awareness breaks the automatic reactions that keep us bound. we begin to understand that everything, thoughts, emotions, sensations, arises and passes away. Nothing in the mind is permanent. This realization brings immense freedom because we no longer cling to what is fleeting. Happiness arises not from controlling the mind, but from understanding its impermanent nature. Understanding the mind also means recognizing its *** creative power ***. The world we experience is shaped by our perceptions and beliefs. As the Buddha said, **, the mind is everything what you think you become. When the mind is filled with fear or anger, the world appears threatening. When it is filled with love and peace, the same world appears beautiful. By observing the mind with mindfulness, we gain the wisdom to choose wholesome thoughts and release destructive ones. Another important insight that comes with mindful observation is the recognition of emptiness, that the mind has no fixed, solid identity. Thoughts come and go, emotions rise and fall, but there is no permanent self behind them. This understanding dissolves the ego, which is the root of much of our suffering. When we let go of the illusion of a separate self, we open the door to compassion and unity with all beings. Practicing mindfulness regularly, through meditation, breathing, or simply watching thoughts, strengthens this understanding. Each moment of awareness sharpens our insight. Over time, we become less reactive, more peaceful, and deeply grounded in the present. Instead of being controlled by the mind, we begin to use it wisely as a tool for awareness and creativity. When we truly understand the nature of the mind, we see that it is like the sky, vast, open, and unchanging, while thoughts and emotions are like passing clouds. The clouds may come and go, but the sky remains untouched. This recognition is liberation. We realize that beneath the turbulence of thinking lies a stillness that is pure, radiant, and free. That stillness is our true nature, the essence of happiness itself. Thus, understanding the nature of mind through mindful attention is not just a spiritual concept. It is a living experience. It transforms confusion into clarity, chaos into calm, and suffering into peace. When we live with this awareness, we are no longer prisoners of our thoughts, but masters of them. And in that mastery, we find the unshakable joy that comes from knowing who we truly are, awareness itself. Cultivation of compassion, compassion, is the heart of mindfulness, the gentle flower that blossoms when awareness deepens. True mindfulness is not just the act of observing our thoughts and emotions. It is also the ability to feel deeply for the suffering of ourselves and others. The Buddha taught that wisdom and compassion are like two wings of a bird. Both are needed to reach enlightenment. When we live with mindful attention, compassion arises naturally, and in that compassion, we discover lasting happiness. To understand compassion, we must first understand that all beings wish for the same thing, to be free from suffering and to live in peace. Whether human or animal, rich or poor, everyone shares this same inner longing. Mindful attention helps us see this truth clearly. When we are fully present, we become sensitive to the emotions of others. We notice their struggles, their pain, their fears, not through judgment, but through understanding. This awareness dissolves barriers between me and them, and love begins to flow effortlessly. Compassion begins with self-awareness, asterisk asterisk. Often we are harsh toward ourselves, blaming or criticizing our flaws and mistakes. Mindfulness allows us to see our own pain with kindness. When we sit quietly and observe our thoughts, we begin to notice how much we suffer because of our self-judgment. By bringing gentle awareness to this suffering, we start to heal. Self-compassion does not mean self-pity. It means recognizing that we, too, are human, imperfect, yet worthy of love. When we treat ourselves kindly, our hearts open naturally toward others. In daily life, mindfulness trains us to pause before reacting. For instance, when someone speaks angrily to us, the automatic reaction is to retaliate. But with mindful attention, we take a breath, feel the emotion rising, and look deeper. We may see that the other person is suffering, that their anger is a cry for understanding. This awareness transforms our reaction into compassion. Instead of feeding anger with more anger, we respond with patience and empathy. In this way, mindfulness becomes a bridge of peace between hearts. The Buddha said, asterisk, hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal law. Asterisk, through mindfulness, we learn to live by this truth. Compassion is not weakness, it is great strength. It requires courage to look into the pain of the world without turning away. Mindful attention gives us that strength because it roots us in the present, where love can flourish without fear. As compassion grows, it changes how we perceive the world. We begin to see that the suffering of others is not separate from our own. When we act with kindness, speak with care, and think with goodwill, we create ripples of healing around us. A simple smile, a listening ear, or a gentle word can ease someone's burden. These small acts, done mindfully, carry great power. They nourish both the giver and the receiver. Scientific studies also show that compassion and mindfulness increase happiness and emotional well-being. When we practice compassion meditation, wishing peace and happiness for all beings, the brain releases hormones that promote calmness and joy. But beyond science, compassion has a spiritual power. It connects us to the universal truth that all life is one. Mindful attention deepens compassion because it allows us to be asterisk asterisk, fully present with suffering asterisk asterisk, without judgment, fear, or avoidance. We learn to hold pain tenderly as a mother holds her child. Whether it is our own pain or that of others, awareness turns it into understanding. From understanding, love blossoms, a love that is unconditional and vast. When compassion fills the heart, happiness arises naturally. We no longer seek joy through possessions or achievements. We find it in the simple act of caring. Each moment of kindness becomes a meditation, each smile a prayer. Compassion transforms our life into a path of service and peace. In the end, to cultivate compassion is to live with an open heart, to feel deeply, to forgive easily, and to love without limits. Through mindful attention, we realize that happiness is not found in self-centered desires, but in the selfless wish for others to be free from pain. In compassion, we touch the essence of our humanity, and in that tenderness, we find the truest form of happiness. Cherry blossom, living with purpose and clarity, asterisk asterisk, mindful attention does not only bring peace to the present moment, it also guides us toward asterisk asterisk, living with purpose and clarity, asterisk asterisk. When the mind is clouded with distractions, fears, and endless desires, life becomes mechanical. We wake up, work, and sleep, yet feel a deep emptiness inside. Mindfulness clears this fog, allowing us to see what truly matters. It helps us align our thoughts, actions, and intentions with the deeper purpose of life, to grow in wisdom, love, and understanding. A mind that is not mindful often moves through life in confusion. It is easily influenced by external opinions, social expectations, and temporary pleasures. Such a mind is like a leaf blowing in the wind without direction or stability. Mindful attention, however, brings clarity, the ability to see life as it truly is. When we observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment, we begin to recognize what is real and what is illusion. We learn to distinguish between desires born from ego and actions that arise from wisdom. Living with clarity means making conscious choices. Every action, whether big or small, is done with awareness. When we eat with gratitude. When we speak with kindness. When we work, we do so with integrity. This conscious way of living transforms even ordinary activities into acts of meditation. We are no longer controlled by habit or impulse. We act from understanding. This is true freedom. Purpose arises naturally from this clarity. Many people spend their lives searching for purpose outside themselves, in careers, possessions, or achievements. But mindfulness reveals that purpose is not something to find. It is something to live. It comes from being fully present and aware of how we contribute to the world in each moment. When we act with compassion, honesty, and love, our life gains direction automatically. The Buddha often spoke about right mindfulness and right action, which are parts of the Noble Eightfold Path. These teachings remind us that clarity of mind leads to right understanding, and right understanding leads to purposeful living. When we are mindful, we see the consequences of our actions clearly. We realize that every thought, word, and deed has an impact on ourselves and on others. With this awareness, we naturally choose kindness over harm, truth over deception, and peace over conflict. Clarity also protects us from confusion and emotional turmoil. When we face challenges, mindfulness allows us to pause and reflect instead of reacting impulsively. This inner space gives us the wisdom to make balanced decisions. For example, when anger arises, a mindful person observes it calmly and chooses a peaceful response. This not only prevents regret, but also strengthens inner confidence and self-respect. Living with mindful purpose does not mean living a serious or restricted life. Rather, it means living with intentional joy. When we are aware of what we are doing and why, even simple tasks like walking, cooking, or helping someone become meaningful. We feel connected to life's flow instead of being lost in it. Each day becomes an opportunity to express love, gratitude, and understanding. Mindful clarity also reveals the impermanent nature of life. We understand that time is precious and that every moment is an opportunity to grow. This awareness motivates us to live authentically, to follow paths that bring peace to ourselves and benefit to others. We stop wasting energy on things that do not nourish the soul and instead focus on what brings true fulfillment, wisdom, compassion, and peace. Ultimately, living with purpose and clarity is living awake. It is living from the heart rather than the noise of the mind. When our attention is mindful, life becomes simple yet profound. We no longer chase after happiness, we live it, breathe it, and share it. Every action becomes aligned with the deeper truth that we are part of something greater. Thus, mindful attention is the guiding light that illuminates our path. It helps us see clearly, act wisely, and love deeply. A life lived with purpose and clarity is not just successful, it is peaceful, meaningful, and free. When we live this way, we discover that happiness is not a distant goal, but the natural fragrance of a mindful life. Blossom